Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Christine Sauer with the Sparkles for Better Mental Health show again. And today I'm really excited to have Mrs. Permelia Parham on the show. Do I pronounce it correctly, or is it Parham? How do you pronounce yourself?
It's Permelia Parham, right? You got
Permelia
it.
Parham. Excellent. And what I know about you is that you have been divinely guided to create the Healing Institute. What a name. An online worldwide hub where you connect clients to holistic practitioners. And you inspire your team of professional holistic practitioners to create a proactive wellness community supporting their clients and each other. And that's so important. And the Healing Institute's motto is service with love. What could be better? And you, Pamelia, told me that you are a certified body code or emotion code practitioner, and you assist your clients to increase their health by releasing negative emotions that are trapped in our subconscious. And as a certified energy practitioner, you aid your clients to realign beliefs and heal the past lifetime energy. Oh my God,
Absolutely.
this is wonderful. Now, I know that with your platform and with your energy, you help people that land on your platform to find holistic modalities and practitioners that work best for them. And
Yes.
it's all about the alignment of energies in energy healing, and you're amazing at that. So now I want to know from you, how did you come to do that? And when did you first discover that you have abilities that go past just elementary school stuff that we learn?
Well, that is quite the story and quite the journey, Christine, but I will give you the Coles Notes version. So, about 20 years ago, I was not in a very good place and I was doing some searching. So I knew from my own other, spiritual education that I needed to go in. I need to look within, because looking without, I wasn't going to find what I needed. I didn't know what I needed. I just knew I was not happy and I needed to be happy, because really I'm basically a very happy person. So at the same time, I love the way God, the universe, just shows up when you need him. And I met a woman who was an energy teacher. And she taught me all about energy. She taught me how our vibrations work. I intuitively knew a lot of this, but I didn't have the language to explain it. And she gave me the language. So I studied under her for 8 years. And and just for me, at the time I had a different company, and I was just doing it for me. Learning how to realign my beliefs and to heal past lifetime energy and balance my chakras. I really did become more joyful, and was, that was showing from the inside out. So when I moved from the city I was living in then to the Vancouver Island where I live now, I was working at a resort, and my coworkers just were saying to me, "Well, how come you're always so happy?" And I said, "Well, I do an energy balance before I come to work." And they were like, "You do what?" We need to know how you do this. So I gave them a little bit of information about the studying that I had been doing, and they wanted to know more. Now, interestingly enough, when I was leaving Edmonton, Alberta, and moving to Vancouver Island, I had said to my energy teacher how I was going to miss coming to her classes. And she said, "Oh, no, you're going to be doing something like this out there." And I, not for a moment, ever thought that I was going to be working in the wellness field, because I had just been doing it for me. So anyway, I went back to visit her a couple of times, and I said, "Well, obviously your prediction's coming true. And so what do we do now?" And she said, "You just need to teach people what I taught you." So she gave me permission to teach everything that she taught me over that 8 years. And that's where I started my vibrational healing company out of my home, started teaching my coworkers, and then got introduced to the emotion code and the body code, which is looking at those trapped emotions that get stuck in our subconscious. So by this time I was ready to leave that job that I had and start my own company, my own business, which was vibrational healing. And then as we were moving into 2019, I would say I was looking around the small city where I live on Vancouver Island and thinking I'd like to find a building where we could have practitioners could come and use it for yoga retreats or their workshops, or maybe a couple of offices we would have and they could see their clients in those private offices. So that's what I was doing in the fall of 2019. And then we know what happened in 2020. So all of a sudden now I'm at home. We're all locked down. I had an office here in the city where I live, but I couldn't go to it because it was all locked up. And I was now home, now on Zoom, learning how to navigate Zoom to see my clients. Because up to that point, I'd only ever seen in-person clients.
Yeah.
So I started to meet people on these different networking platforms because they all started to show up, all the online networking platforms. And I was meeting holistic practitioners from all over the world. So I went, that's why I say I feel I've been divinely guided, because I think God had a bigger idea than just a building here on Vancouver Island. So that's how the Healings Institute became more of a virtual global online presence. And I really truly believe we need that. We presently have 10 practitioners representing 7 countries. So we are growing. My vision, of course, is to be in 12 plus countries, over 200 practitioners. We really want to make an impact on wellness in the world. And we want to give people hope, and we want to give them choices, which we've never really had before, because we've been raised that the medical model that we have had for the last 40 or 50 years is what we needed to follow. And we know now that really completely all over the world, it's broken. So we need to look at what the root cause is of people's issues, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, not just what the symptoms are. So that's how we got to there.
Now, Permelia, it really couldn't be more true. I tend to talk about the 5 dimensions of health, and that's really what you represent. And isn't it wonderful if when you found something great, like the science of vibrational healing, energy healing is really a science in a way.
It
I
is, yes.
It's defined nowadays is really not valid. It's just studies, and you can easily falsify them. But real science is what works in people, right?
Yes.
And you find something great that works, you want to share it. And that's what you're doing. And you train
Yes.
others to share it. And that's how you multiply that wonderful energy. And we need that so badly in our world. So many people are not well. So tell me a little bit about how you continued in your journey and then founded that institute. There must have been a lot of struggles doing that. It's not that easy.
Well, I was very fortunate that one of the networking platforms that I joined, one of the women who, she was two Canadian women put this networking platform together, and one of them was a business coach. And I hired her, and she was a visionary as well as being a business coach. And so I had had a number of other businesses before, but I had never really done a business plan. So I knew this was big. I needed to have a business plan. And so I worked with her for 2 years, and she really helped me visualize and see the scope of what we could actually do. So yes, it's been about 2 years in the making from when I first started to think about how I wanted this to be. We still have a long way to go. We have, as I mentioned, 10 practitioners. We are still looking for wanting clients to come to the website so that they can interact with those practitioners. And I'm also searching for more practitioners as well. And so we're still in the weeds a bit. We're still, making it happen. But I'm on lots of podcasts like yours. I'm very grateful to be interviewed, and getting the word out to the world, that so people will know who we are and what we do.
And that's wonderful. And thank you for mentioning the podcast, because my mission is to really spread the word about holistic health and feature
Mhm.
holistic practitioners of all shades, because the world needs more holistic health. We have enough, as you mentioned, of conventional health, and it has its place. There's nothing wrong with
Of
it.
course,
But
absolutely. Yeah.
it's not enough. And more people are waking up and realizing, hey,
Mm.
I have that chronic illness. I don't want to pop pills forever. Maybe there's something wrong with my energy. Now, let me know two things. For one, I would love to know how your platform works and how you want to grow it. What's your vision for the future? And how would somebody find it and then go on it? I mean, we have time, so take your time and explain it so people know the details, because I've looked at your platform and it's wonderful. And like any plant, it's tender and growing, and it needs nourishment, and it needs care and love to go into a strong bush and tree that withstands the storm of time.
Well, thank you for that, Christine. So I know you're going to be sharing the show notes, and so the Healing Institute website is there. When you go on the website, right now we have 5 different categories, which we're actually changing the names of, because those of us that are holistic practitioners, we understand what energy healing is, what emotional healing is, what maybe integrated healing is. Maybe most people would know what a therapy is and coaching. Those are my five buttons I have right now, which I call categories. And then when you click on that button, it'll take you to a list of modalities. And when you click on the modality that you're looking for, and maybe you don't know what you're looking for, but you want to try something out, that will take you to the practitioner. So there's a couple of things that we're changing up on the website. Once you get to the practitioner, you can view their profile. You can book with them. There's a book button. A button that says book. You can book a complimentary consultation with all of the practitioners. And then if you decide to work with them, then you can also book a paid session, and pay. Now, we're realizing, I designed this 2 years ago. We haven't been up and running a full 2 years, but, you have to start somewhere. So now we really realizing we're getting lots of unique views to the website. A lot of people are coming to the website, like over 140 a day.
Wow.
But people are not engaging with the practitioners. So that's what I've been looking at for the last couple of months. Why is that not happening? So we're going to change up those buttons, because I'm realizing, people don't know what energy healing is a lot of times, or emotional healing. So we're going to have questions like, are you feeling discomfort? Are you having aches and pain? And we can't say pain because the medical industry owns that word, but aches and discomfort, or how
Um,
are you sleeping?
Medical industry owns it. It's true, but it's ridiculous when you
It
think.
is ridiculous. Yes.
We can't say therapy, we can't say treatment, we can't say even nutritionist, or that's all proprietary, but it's ridiculous. Those are English words, basic language.
I know. So, but we are going to be saying things like, are you feeling anxious? Do you feel stressed? Are you sleeping? Because we know that those things are really, a lot of people are really suffering. And then the final button is going to be, how can we help you? And that'll take people to a form that they can fill out, and they can write in exactly what they're looking for. Now, once they click on, let's say, the button of, are you sleeping, or how is your sleep? We're still figuring out the wording. That will take them directly to the practitioners that help with sleep.
Mhm.
So it's only a 2-step process, which I'm realizing the process I have right now is a 3-step process, and people don't want to, click on three buttons to get to their practitioner. So yeah, so as soon as they ask that question, are you feeling anxious? That button will take them right to the practitioners that help with anxiety.
That sounds like a really good plan, and a good start on the right way, because I know it's difficult doing web design and web management and all that myself, to actually show the clients or the people that land on the landing
Mm.
all the goodness. that you can achieve for them. That is really the challenge, because everybody these days, they click here, they click there, they land there. 3 seconds is all they have.
Yes.
They make the
Yeah.
decision. I like it. I look more, not for me, next click. It's different when you have somebody in a live event, they are there and they listen to you, they get to know you a bit, and then they can make a better informed decision, is that for
Hmm.
them or not. And I think that's wonderful. So what's your vision for the future for your platform?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I really have a vision to really make an impact on the world for health. My vision is to create a proactive wellness society. I believe we've been a reactive illness society for way too long. We don't have health care. We actually have sick care. And I want to change that paradigm shift. I want people to realize they can take responsibility for their own health and find out that actually our bodies are pretty amazing. We can heal ourselves given the right conditions. And that's why I called it a healing institute. Well, that's why I used the word institute in the title, in the name of the company, because I'm really passionate about educating people around how to be well and stay well while they're on their health journey. And let's face it, we're all on a health journey. And this comes back to a situation and a experience that I had when my mom passed away at a very young age. She was only 61. And it was due to some medication that she had been on for a very, very long time. And she was a very smart woman. She did a lot of, we didn't, of course, have Google back in those days, but, she did a lot of reading and her own research, and she knew exactly what medication she was taking. But there was no information around side effects. And especially if you've been on a certain medication for a long time. And so unfortunately, we lost her at the age of 61 because of kidney failure, because this medication that she had been on, one of the side effects was that kidneys could be compromised. And so I don't want other people to have to go through that.
No,
That's why I'm in
I,
the education business.
I really appreciate you sharing that. And it's so sad to lose a relative to something that would have been avoidable. And it
Very
happened the
avoidable.
same for my own mother. She died from the side effect of a, at that time, very popular medication that was supposed to be safe and effective, but wasn't. And it was really a tragedy because she was totally healthy before she took that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you really think about, what are they thinking? Just recommending something, maybe to reap financial benefits. It wasn't helpful for people in your mother's case, in my
Yeah,
mother's case. And sometimes medication is extremely helpful, but sometimes they hurt people. And I believe the statistics say that death from medication and medical errors are among the first 5 main causes of death in North America. That is
that's
not
so true.
good.
Yeah, not good at all. And further to, the tragedy that she died so young, I was 5 months pregnant with my son, my first child. So my children didn't get to know their grandmother.
How tragic. I'm so sorry to
Yeah.
hear that. And when you look at that, and you're not the unique case, and that's a sad thing. How can
Mhm.
we improve that? How
Mhm.
can we help others recognize that there's alternatives? They don't just have to go with conventional.
Yes, that's part of my vision, Christine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how can we help them? How do you want to implement that? How can you help them fulfill your mission? How can other practitioners like myself, I mean, obviously, I will help you fulfill your mission, but how can those who listen, the clients, the patients, the other practitioners that listen to that podcast, that come in contact with it, that see it on YouTube, on one of the many platforms it is, how can they help you improve the health and wellness of us all worldwide?
Well, please share. Just share it. Pop onto the website. If you have any kind of issue yourself. I have a wonderful practitioner who does conscious breathing. Well, we all have, we actually don't breathe well. And, so you don't need to have an ache or discomfort or an issue But if you'd like to learn how to breathe consciously, which is a huge benefit for health, connect with her. So connect with the practitioners, even, I'm not asking you can connect for their complimentary consultation. It's free. So that's what, and then let other people know.
Yeah.
Tell your community, tell your family members, tell all of your connections that the Healing Institute exists, so people will know that there is alternative ways.
Yeah. Tell them, hey, there is something that you can check out. And it doesn't cost nothing just to click on here and look what it is. And then you can make a decision. But have a look, for heaven's sake. How often do we watch nonsense shows on TVs? This is not nonsense. This is crucial for our health and wellness. And the more people experience holistic health modalities, let's call it that way, the more they will realize that there's more to life, more to health, conventional healthcare, and running in the hamster wheel of work and entertainment. There's much more. And I know you focus on energy healing, and that dips into the spiritual side. And I love
Absolutely.
that aspect. And many adults like myself, it takes them a long time to discover that side. How can we reach the younger generations more?
Good question.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I always think about. I mean, I'm older generation. You are no longer a very young person. And we both, I know I have the mission to reach more younger people and help them to maybe a little bit go on a shortcut if possible.
Yeah.
And what can we do?
Well, and I think that's that's part of my aim as well, is to be able to give people information. One of the things I always say is, what you got in trouble for as a child is usually your gift. So I got in trouble for being too sensitive and asking too many questions. But curiosity is so important. We need to ask. We do need to ask questions. We do need to do our research. We need to think about, if we're being offered something, let's say a medication, just as an example, you need to look at, find out everything about that medication. Feel in your body whether or not it is something that you should be taking. And even if if you're prescribed it and you get the prescription, hold it against your body. Your energy will tell you, your energy aura will tell you whether this is a yes or yes, this is a no. And I think that's really important. We've not included ourselves in the diagnosis that we've had over the years. We just took the doctor's word for it. And I agree with you, conventional medicine, I want it there when I need it. But I've used holistic medicine and ways of being well for over 20 years. And I'm in my middle 70s. So I am definitely.
I believe that, Permelia.
So I'm definitely a walking, talking advertisement that it does work, because I don't take any medication. I do take supplements. Yes, I do take some supplements that I know that I need, because a lot of our food is not processed anymore. Like, my grandparents lived, too much processed. Yeah, it's not grown properly. So, I mean, my grandparents lived on a farm. So all of my mother's, that was my mother's parents. So they were raised with really good crops of food that they could eat. And it went right from the garden to the table. Well, obviously my grandmother had to cook it on the way, but still, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, we didn't go to, not what we do now is go to the grocery store and hope that, what we're going to get is actually not GMO and that it's got good nutrition. So those things we have to take into consideration, and that's all part of us being healthy.
Absolutely. And I love that you propagate that. And nature is a great healer as much as possible. I mean, as you said, conventional medicine is a great addition, but it's not the wherewithal. And I always say, never delegate your good sense and your common sense and your decision making to your physician. Don't let anybody else, if you're a reasonable adult, let anybody else make decisions for you and say, oh yeah, you know better. No, I was a physician. I never told my clients what to do. I offered them, I said, for me, I think this might help. Would you like it? More than often than not, they took the advice. But if not, well, so be it. It may be
Yeah,
better.
so, recently the doctor I had, which I don't have anymore, because so many of our doctors are retiring and not getting replaced. But I was offered a cholesterol medication and I said no. I was offered a blood pressure medication. I said no, because I knew I knew what had happened, what I was doing in my life that had raised those levels, in that I wasn't getting enough exercise, I wasn't drinking enough water, I was maybe indulging in too many sweets, or, not all the sweets, but in the sugar line. And I knew how to change that. So I thought, no, I'm not going on a medication just because I've been, recommended it. So you have to be strong, but you need to do your research. So you need to know.
Do your own research, take responsibility for your own life, for your family, and don't delegate it to others, not even a doctor. Always ask questions before you make a decision and let it be yours. And it can be aligned with what the doctor says. Hopefully it is. A good doctor will not recommend nonsense, but there's others, and I've seen both. And I love that. And if you have questions, ask a holistic practitioner. You can find someone, Permelia's platform. You
We
can
have a platform of 10 practitioners right now.
count. I'm sure there will be more practitioners soon.
There will be, yes.
More it gets publicized. And that's wonderful because my idea is ideally there would be a big platform in the world where everybody could look for a practitioner and maybe the computer. What do we have AI for? They can help them select it. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
That I'm on you. I'm on that train with you.
Excellent. I mean, you can use all tools in AI as a tool,
Yes.
positive or negative. Look at the atomic bomb. Atomic energy can be positive, but it can also be the bomb. So, Pamelia, to close this up, where can people find you? I'm sure there's people that want to check it out, see, oh, this practitioner do breath work and other interesting modalities. I want to see it. Or there may be practitioner want to connect with you. Hey, I like that platform. Can I be a member? What do they need?
Yes. And on the platform, there is a practitioner button. So practitioners can click on that button, fill out that form. That's an email that comes to me. And then I get in touch with them and send them my calendar link so we can have a Zoom. I do have an onboarding process for the practitioners. So I like to meet with them, send them the form, and then meet again, because one of my core values, Christine, is that it really needs to be a win-win for everybody. So it needs to be a win for the practitioners, obviously, for the clients, definitely, but also for my business. So, and we are a wellness community. So when you go on the website, you'll see that international wellness community. So I encourage all of the practitioners to get together, to get to know each other, to have one-on-ones with each other, maybe even trade a session, so they will know if they don't know what that session is, so that when a client comes to that particular practitioner, let's say, and chooses them, then in their mind they can think, oh, they could benefit by this practitioner or that practitioner. And that's one of our core values with all the practitioners on the website, is that everybody understands that the client is who we are serving. It is the whole person client. So we're looking at everything that we can possibly do for that person.
Oh, that is awesome. And speaking of the client, you told me that you have a special thing for people that watch you and maybe they get stuck somewhere or have some beliefs that don't serve them no more. What do you offer them?
Okay, well, I'm so delighted to be able to offer this. It's a realigning beliefs session.
Wow.
And so what we do is we look at, or ask you to do that. You look, and we can do it over Zoom. It's very easy. I've got a few forms, but I can email those to you. And so you look at what is there something that's blocking you or stopping you? Did you have a belief that you have grown up with, and now all of a sudden that doesn't make sense for you? So we look at what is that belief you want to change, and we just identify it first of all. And then we look at what is the belief you want to have. So to give a very simple example, a belief you don't want to have is I'm unworthy. A belief you do want to have is I am worthy. Now, what we do with that new belief is we're not just intellectually thinking of it, we're vibrationally including it into your energy aura. And it's a very simple process, but it's very, very powerful the way we do that. And then once we've included that new belief into your energy, then we'll release the old belief. That was my teacher's. She said, you never want to leave a gap because you don't know. You don't want to leave an energetic gap because you don't want to leave anything available that something else could slip in.
You want the positive energy in there first,
Always.
so it doesn't get, when you push the negative out, so it doesn't get replaced with even worse things. You want the positive right there. So, and a practitioner like yourself and the people in your platform definitely can help to do that. And
yes, and then that new belief that you have, that's going to assist you in the success that you're looking for in your life, and whether it's something physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, you'll be able to that's incorporated because it's now incorporated into your energy aura or your whole vibration. It becomes part of you.
this is wonderful, and everybody that watches it and still adheres to the belief, I can't do that, I can't go on her platform, replace it right now with the link and click on it.
Right now. Thank you.
Because Henry thought that whether you believe you can't or you can, you're right. So
You're right.
click on the link that's under the video and in the notes and see what awaits you on the other side. It's probably something good.
It'll be spectacular.
You go.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Permelia, for being on my show. And please subscribe and tune in to the next episode of Sparkles for Better Mental Health. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Christine.